Hello, everybody. This is Apba Brian with Apba Baseball Classics, bringing to you a new series. This is going to be game number 120 in the all-time great tournament, and game one for the series between the 1906 Chicago White Sox and the 1995 Atlanta Braves. We're going to change one thing. The home team for game one will be the lower seeded team. Game two, and if game three is necessary, it'll be the higher seeded team. So we'll have one game in one city, and then the next two games will be in the other city. The 1995 player strike, which started in 1994, was an ugly affair that had many unintended consequences. First of all, there was no postseason in 1994, and that was the first time a World Series was missed since 1904. And there being no postseason, there was no chance for Don Mattingly to make the postseason for the Yankees. They had a 6-game lead in their division, and he never did reach the postseason. Other unintended consequences was the Montreal Expos lost their best chance ever at making the World Series. And then with the 20% drop in attendance in 1995, they ended up selling off their four key stars in 1 week in the spring training of 95. And that franchise then went down, and there was a lot of talk about even contracting the franchise out of existence. Ultimately, they moved to Washington and became the Nationals. Tony Gwynn had unintended consequences from the player strike. He was hitting .394. That was his best shot in his career to hit .400. A lot of players had picked a bad year to have some of their best seasons in 1994. Now, what was lost in 94 was they only played, losing my head, okay, they only played 113 games, and then the following year they only played 144 games, so they lost 61 games regular season. Other unintended consequences involved two teammates, Tom Glavin and Fred Mcgriff. Tom Glavin became the Atlanta Braves player representative in 1991, and he was heavily involved in the negotiations between the players union and the owners in 94, and frequently he could be seen giving television interviews about the progress of the talks. Ultimately, when they went on strike, this made him rather unpopular in Atlanta. In 95, he was frequently booed, and in 95, the Atlanta press was very hard on their star pitcher, Tom Glavin, for his involvement in the player union. And there were unintended consequences for teammate Fred Mcgriff. In 1994, Fred Mcgriff was hitting .318. He's actually having his best season, hitting .318. He had 30 or more home runs. He had 28 in the following season in 95. And the pace that he was for those 2 years, he played every game in 94. So the pace that he was on, he would have hit 12 and a half more home runs had those regular season games been played. If he hit at least 7 home runs, he would have retired a member of the 500 club, which would most certainly put him in the Hall of Fame. He's in his last year of eligibility for the Hall of Fame. The highest totals he's ever garnered are 23.9%. I think he got 23.1 last year. But it's very unlikely he's going to make the Hall of Fame. If he had played those games, he'd be in the Hall of Fame. All right, welcome to Atlanta Fulton County Stadium for this game between the 06 Chicago Cubs and the 1995 Atlanta Braves. Here are your starting lineups.
Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I ever get back, for it's root, root, root for the home team. If they don't win, it's a shame, for it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game.
Tom Glavin is a grade B pitcher and no modifiers. We're ready to begin. Let's play ball. We're using basic Apba, and it's going to be straight up basic Apba all the way because we do not have the Master Steel ratings for my 95 Braves card set. Still give the catchers a chance to throw out base runners. That's another chart. Here's a pitch to Jimmy Sheckard, leading off for the Cubs. The blue and red dice, the Atlanta Braves colors. Blue will be red first. 22 is a leadoff single for Jimmy Sheckard. And the Cubs are in business right away. Sheckard is a D31 stealing. That has a very high success rate, but the D will make him wait until there's 2 outs before the 6th inning before he can go. Johnny Evers comes to bat. He has the extra 31 on his card, and he will hit and run. Here's the pitch to Evers. The runner is running. 61. 36 is a wild pitch, stolen base, and a wild pitch. So there can't be a throw to second with a wild pitch. And Sheckard ends up on third base with nobody out. Evers is 5 for 20 with 2 doubles in the series. Atlanta will play the infield in. Here's the pitch to Evers. 45 is a base on balls. It sets up a potential double play. So the infield is going to play double play depth. And here is Johnny Kling. 7 for 19 with a triple, steal, and 2 RBIs in the series. Glavin will be working for a ground ball. Here's a pitch to Johnny Kling. 45, that's going to be a base on balls. Glavin is surrounded by angry Cubs. Here is player manager Frank Chance. Bases loaded. Can Frank Chance put a quarter in the merry-go-round? Here is the pitch. 64 is another walk. 3 straight walks. RBI for Chance, and Cubs go up 1-0 with nobody out. Frank Chance at first base, Johnny Kling at second, and Johnny Evers at third. Bases are still loaded. Harry Steinfeld's the batter. Here's the pitch. 2-6 is a 29. Infield's playing deep. That's going to be a runner forced out at home. Score at 1-2. That retires Evers. Kling goes to third, Chances at second, and Steinfeld's at first with a fielder's choice. No RBI on the play, and no runs scored. Bases are still loaded. Here is Wildfire Schulte, the center fielder for the Cubs. 21 is a 30. That's a fly ball. Fielding column 2. The left field, that's caught by Ryan Klesko. Kling tags, and he will score. It's a sacrifice fly. So 2 outs. Cubs lead 2-0. And last chance for the Cubs to do damage is Jimmy Schlegel. .64 is a swing and a miss, strike 3. 2 runs are in. We go to the bottom of the first. Atlanta Braves coming to bat. All right, the Chicago Cubs reached round 3 of the all-time greatest tournament by defeating the 1984 San Diego Padres 2-0, and then they beat the 1917 Chicago White Sox 2-1. Jack Taylor is a grade A pitcher with an R modifier. He's pitching to Marquise Grissom. 36 is a 33. Fielding column 1 is a pop-up to the second baseman, Johnny Evers. 1 down. Shortstop Jeff Blauser steps in the box for the Braves. 6 for 21 for the series, with a homer and a double. 1-6 is a 28. Ground ball to the shortstop, Joe Tinker. 6-3, that's 2 outs. Here is Chipper Jones. 35 is a 39. Strike 1. The 1 pitch to Jones is a 56. That's a pop out to the shortstop, Joe Tinker. 3 up and 3 down for the Atlanta Braves. We go through the top of the second. 2-0 Chicago. Lead off the top of the second. He came from Muscatine, Kansas, which I think is near Topeka, Kansas. Here's the pitch from Tom Glavin to Joe Tinker. 1-3 is another walk. That's the 4th walk surrendered by Tommy Glavin. Here's the pitcher, Jack Taylor. He will square around to bunt. Taylor was a 208 hitter in 1906, but he's going to try sacrifice. Here's the pitch to Taylor. 52 is 27. 2 strikes. He's going to take the bunt off and now swing away. 6-5 is a foul out to the catcher, Javi Lopez. 1 down. Jimmy Sheckard. 31 is a 9 against a B pitcher. That's going to be an infield single for Jimmy Sheckard. He is 2 for 2. Runners on first and second for Chicago. 1 down. Here's the crab, Johnny Evers. 33, that's a 8 against the B. That's going to be a ground out to third base. 5-3. Runners advance to second and third. 2 down. And Johnny Kling, 312 hitter in 1906. Infield with 2 outs is playing back. Here's the pitch to Kling. He was at one time a world's billiards champion. 1-5 is 11. That's a single to left field with 2 outs. Both runners will score. Cubs are up to a 4-0 lead. A very rocky start for Tom Glavin. He is 1-0 in the tournament. Pitched 6 1/3 innings against the 1940 Reds. Gave up no earned runs. But he's given up 4 here to the 06 Cubs. And he's going to have to face Frank Chance, a 319 hitter. 33, that's a hit column roll for Frank Chance. 1-3 is a double over first base. Kling will score. Five to nothing, Chicago. That lowers Glavin's grade to a grade C, and that may do it for him. Manager Bobby Cox will go to the bullpen and bring in Steve Avery, grade D pitcher, YZ modifiers. He is pitching to Harry Steinfeld, the third baseman. 2 outs. Frank Chance at second base. 55 is a 7. That's going to be a single. Chance will score. Charge the runner to Glavin, who gives up, and that closes the book on Glavin. It gives up 6 runs, all earned. Here is Frank Schulte. 64 is a fly ball to left field caught by Ryan Klesko. That ends the second inning, but the Cubs score 4. We go to the bottom of the second. Chicago 6 and Atlanta nothing. I imagine Bobby Cox is reminding his troops that baseball is a long game and it's still early. A lot of baseball to be played left, and that's exactly what my grandson's coach said last night to his team when they fell behind 5-0 in the first 2 innings of yesterday's game. And sure enough, they came back and won the game 7-5. Here is Jack Taylor pitching to Fred McGriff. 25 is a 8 against an A. That's going to be a pop out to third baseman Harry Steinfeld. 1 down. David Justice. Justice is 3 for 13. He has not gotten an extra base hit in the tournament yet. 64 is a swing and a miss. Strike 3. 2 down. Here is Ryan Klesko. Both of Klesko's hits in the tournament have been extra bases, a homer and a double. It's 2 for 9. 35 is a 9 against an A. That's going to be a ground out to the shortstop. 3 up and 3 down. We go to the top of the third. Chicago 6, Atlanta nothing. Inning, Steve Avery will pitch to Jimmy Slagle. Joe Tinker and Jack Taylor at the bottom of the 06 Cubs order. 45 is going to be a base on balls. Chicago has been very patient at the plate today. Average speed at first. Here is Joe Tinker. 42 is a 39. That's going to be a runner caught stealing. I'll give him a chance to be safe. Javi Lopez is a 7, so his chances to throw out the runner will be 11 through 16. 21, he is safe. Slagle steals second. Tinker swings away. 52 is a 27. That's a ground ball to third base or wide. That's a strikeout. Avery has the strikeout letter. 1 down. And now the pitcher, Jack Taylor. 1-2 is a 25. That's going to be a line drive to Mark Lemke at second base. 2 down. Top of the order, and Jimmy Chicard, who is 2 for 2. 5 for 18 in the tournament. 61 is a 40. And that's a fly out to right field. That ends the top of the third. Cubs don't score. It's 6-0 Cubs over Atlanta. Jack Taylor, who has finished the minimum over the first 2, will face Mark Lemke to lead off the bottom of the third inning. Mark Lemke got off to a very hard start in the tournament, but he has cooled somewhat since. Still, he's 6 for 18, 333 average, 2 homers and 2 doubles, and 7 RBIs. There's a pitch to Mark Lemke. 56 is a swing and miss for strike 3. Second strikeout for Jack Taylor. Javi Lopez, hard-hitting catcher for the Atlanta Braves. 1-5 is a 8 against an A. That's going to be a pop out to Harry Steinfeld at third. 2 away. Steve Avery. 65 is a foul out to the catcher. I'm using the 2011 book. 3 up and 3 down for the Braves. We go to the top of the fourth. 6-0 Cubs. Crab, Johnny Evers leads off the fourth. 65 is a pop out to the catcher. Johnny Kling from born in Kansas City, Missouri. and after his career became a businessman in Kansas City, Missouri. 63 is a fly ball to center field, caught by Marcus Grissom. Here is a chance. 65 is a pop out to the catcher Javi Lopez. 3 up and 3 down for the Cubs. First clean inning for Atlanta defensively. We go to the bottom of the fourth. 6-0 Chicago. Marquise Grissom leads off for the Atlanta Braves. 1-6 is a ground ball to the shortstop. Joe Tinker corrals it, throws to first. 1 down. Jeff Blauser. 55 is a 9 against an 8. That's going to be a ground out to the shortstop, Joe Tinker. 2 away. Here is Chipper Jones. .41. Ground ball to shortstop. All 3 plays made by Joe Tinker, Hall of Famer. We go to the top of the 5th. 6-0 Cubs. Barry Steinfeld, Wildfire Schulte, and Jimmy Slagle due up for Chicago. Steve Avery is a rated starter. He can go 7 innings of relief before he hits his point of fatigue. Here's a pitch to Steinfeld. 33 is a hit column roll for Harry Steinfeld. 1-1 is a drive. It might be. It could be. It is out of here. Solo home run makes it 7-0 Chicago. That's the first home run for the Cubs in the tournament. Wildfire Schulte comes to bat. 53 is a 15, fielding column 2. That's a single to center field. No outs. Fast runner at first. Jimmy Slagle, the batter. 6-6 roll here. That's a hit column roll for Slagle. And 6-6 is a 2. That's going to be a triple along the right field line. Slagle settles into third with an RBI triple, scoring Schulte. 8-0 Chicago. Here's Joe Tinker. Infield's playing back. 32 is a 26. Round out to second, 4-3. That's the first out. Schlegel scores, give Tinker an RBI, and it's 9-0. Here's Jack Taylor. 56 is a 34. Y is a strikeout. And now top of the order to Sheckard. 43 will end the inning. That's a ground ball to, nope, that's a Y. It's not a ground ball. Another strikeout for Avery. Go to the bottom of the 5th inning. It is Atlanta 9, or excuse me, Chicago Cubs 9, Atlanta nothing. Fred Mcgriff leads off the bottom of the 5th inning. 1-4 is a fly ball to left field, caught by Jimmy Slagle, 1 away. Here's David Justice. 53 is a 17. That's a fly out to right field, fielding column 1, 2 outs. Now Ryan Klesko. 22 is a 6. That's a double. First hit for the Braves, first base runner for the Braves. 2 outs, Klesko's on second. And Jack Taylor had retired the first 14 hitters in the game before the Klesko double. Here's the pitch to Mark Lemke. 42 is a fly out to right field, caught by Jimmy Sheckard. That's going to strand Klesko at second base. We go to the top of the 6th, 9-0 Cubs. Before Klesko came to bat, I talk about the fact that Jack Taylor had retired everyone he had faced so far and then jinx him, take away his no-hitter. But Ryan Klesko removed all question of that jinx with this double. Here's the pitch to Evers, 64, is a strikeout. Johnny Kling, 56, is going to be a flyout to David Justice in right field. Here's Frank Chance. 24 was the roll. That's a swing and a miss for strike 3. 3 up and 3 down for the Cubs. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. 9-0 Chicago. Javier Lopez will lead off the last of the 6th inning for the Braves, and we might see a pitch hitter for the pitcher. And then the top of the order, Marquise Grissom. Jack Taylor is pitching for the Cubs. 55 is a base hit for Javi Lopez. That's the Braves' second hit of the day. It's average speed at first base. And we will see a pinch hitter. That is Mike Kelly. No left-handed bats on the bench, so we bring in Kelly. Doesn't matter in basic kappa anyway. Here's the pitch to Mike Kelly. 1-4 is a fly ball to left field. Kelly's retired. 1 out. Kent Merker warming in the bullpen. Batter is Marquise Grissom. 52 is a 12. That's going to be a 4-6-3 double play. With that twin killing, we go to the top of the 7th. 9-0 Chicago. For the Atlanta Braves is Kent Merker, grade C, pitcher with a Y strikeout modifier. Harry Steinfeld steps into the box. He's 2 for 3 today with single homer and 2 RBIs. 64 is a 9 against a C. That's going to be a pop out to the third baseman, Chipper Jones. Here's Wildfire Schulte. Pitch to Frank Schulte is a 41, and that's a ground out to shortstop. Jeff Blauser with the play, 2 outs. Jimmy Schlegel. That's a ground out to, or a pop out to third base. 3 up and 3 down for the Cubs. We are the bottom of the 7th. 9-0. Cubs have a big lead. Jeff Blauser leads off the last of the 7th for Atlanta. 61 is a 27. Ground out to third base, 5-3. Chipper Jones. Chipper's had a good tournament till today. He's 6 for 19 coming in today, 2 homers and 2 doubles. But in today's action, he is 0 for 2. 25 is a 9 against an A pitcher. That's going to be a ground out to shortstop. Joe Tinker with the play. Fred Mcgriff. .41 is a 24. That's a ground out to shortstop. We go to the 8th. 9-0 Cubs. You heard was from my computer a notification from YouTube on a comment by RGL518. Robert says that 2001 D-backs team was a pretty good team. Don't count them out. And he is right about that. They are going forward in the tournament, and they eliminated a powerful 34 Cardinals team yesterday. Check out Robert's channel, RJL518. He plays cards and dice. Right now he's playing payoff pitch baseball, a great game, and he's very good at calling the games. Check his channel out. Here's Kent Merker in the 8th, pitching to Joe Tinker. 1-4 is a fly ball to left field. Tinker's the first out of the 8th inning. Here is Jack Taylor. 6-1 is a ground ball to shortstop. Blauser has it, throws the first, takes us to the top of the order, and Jimmy Sheckard. 35 is a 9 against a C. That's going to be a pop out to third base. 5 is a scoring. 3 up and 3 down. We go to the bottom of the 8th. 9-0 Cubs. All right, we go to the last of the 8th inning. Jack Taylor's past his point of fatigue, but he has to have 3 bad things happen to him. And in the whole game, he's had only 2 bad things, a double and a single, yielded no walks. He's got David Justice and Ryan Klesko and Mark Lincoln in the bottom of the 8th inning. Here's the pitch to David Justice. 35 is a 40 foul ball. Still up there. 46 is a swing and a miss for strike 3. Here's Ryan Klesko. 1-5 is a 10 against an A pitcher. That's going to be a single, only the third hit. And Klesko is 2 for 3 on the day. Makes him 5 for 20 in this series. Here, Mark Lemke is the batter. 51 is a 9 against an A. That's going to be an infield hit for Mark Lemke. First time the Braves have had 2 men on. Has 2 marks against his point of fatigue. Javi Lopez. 32 is a 26. That's going to be an infield pop-up to Johnny Evers. 2 outs. Mike Devereaux will pitch it for the pitcher. 2 outs, 2 on. Here's the pitch. 1-4 is a fly ball to left field, and that's caught by Jimmy Schlegel. 3 outs. We go to the top of the 9th. Cubs 9. Braves have been whitewashed. Evers leads off the final frame for the Cubs. Here's the pitch from a new pitcher for Atlanta Braves is Greg McMichael, grade B pitcher, X modifier. This pitch to Evers. 1-4 is a fly ball to left field. Johnny Evers goes 0 for 4 today. Here is Johnny Kling. 45 is a walk. I think that's been the key to the Cubs game today. They did hit their first home run in the tournament, but they have drawn a number of walks. Here is Frank Chance. 32 is a 26. That's a fielder's choice. 4-6 retiring Kling. Chance is running at first. Fast runner. 2 outs. And Harry Steinfeld. They induced Tom Glavin to walk the bases loaded in the first inning, and it was downhill for the Braves. Here's the pitch to Steinfeld. 1-6 is a 28. That's a ground out to shortstop. Ends the top of the 9th. We go to the last of the 9th. Cubs 9, Atlanta nothing. Jack Taylor comes back to the mound to work the 9th for the Cubs. One more bad thing happens as Greg goes down to B. Marquise Grissom leads off for the Braves, and the final frame here is 44. 8 against an A. That is a pop out to the third baseman, Harry Steinfeld. Jeff Blauser. 25 is a 39. Strike 1. 16 is a ground out to the shortstop, Joe Tinker. And the last out, last hope, is Chipper Jones. 42 is a swing and a miss, strike 3. That's a ball game. Final score, the Chicago Cubs 9 and the Atlanta Braves nothing. We'll be back with the wrap-up. Game number 120 was a cakewalk for the Chicago Cubs. They cruised to a 9-0 victory. Cubs scored 9 runs on 8 hits and no errors. Atlanta Braves scored 0 runs on 4 hits and no errors. 1 home run in the game, a solo shot in the 5th inning by Harry Steinfeld. And let's see, the winning pitcher was Jack Taylor. Complete game shutout. 4 hits allowed, 4 strikeouts. Losing pitcher was Tom Glavin, who went only 1 2/3 innings, gave up 6 runs. Tomorrow, the Cubs will go back to Wrigley. They'll take on the Braves. The number 1 starters will be going. Mordecai Brown will be pitching for the Cubs, and Greg Maddux for the Braves. Today's Salvador Perez MVP of the game is Jack Taylor, who pitched a complete game shutout. He is known for being the Iron Man pitcher of all time. He pitched 187 complete games between June 1901 and August of 1906. And in the all-time greats tournament, he has 2 complete game shutouts. Jack Taylor, the MVP of today's game. Today's contest, it wasn't the prettiest thing we've ever seen, but it's tabletop baseball, and hope you enjoy cards and dice baseball as much as I do. And if you're watching these games, you probably do. Thanks for watching. Have a good day, and God bless.